Hello, welcome to e-learning. I am Navdeep, working as PGTIP in Cambridge International School, Dusua. Students, today we will learn the steps how to install MySQL on your system and how to start working with it. So, as you know that for using SQL in MySQL, we need to understand what are the MySQL installation steps are there and how to start working with it. So, what are the nitty gritty and basics we need to keep in mind while installation of MySQL that we will start studying? So, moving forward. So, today we will focus on step by step installation and working with MySQL. What are the steps we need to take care for installation of MySQL? So, now moving to the uh, your web browser and start opening your Google window. Open your this Google window and you can type here XAMPP. So we have to download XAMPP for Windows. Clear? And because most of us we are having Windows based, if you are having Linux based system, so you have to download accordingly. So here this you start downloading this, and you have to keep in mind about the another important step is whether your window is 32-bit or 64-bit. Most of the windows nowadays are having 64-bit. So first check your windows and then you go and open this step and download this. And here in this particular area you have to select, clear, that whether your system is 64-bit. So this is XAMPP for Windows, clear, and this is the XAMPP for Linux is also available. So because most of us are using the Windows based system, so definitely from here you have to download. And if your system is 32-bit, so you have to download accordingly. And the size of this XAMPP is also written over here. So this is not a huge software. Now I am going to tell you what are the steps that you need to focus while you are installing this software. So here we go with how to install XAMPP for Windows. Very easy installation it is. After downloading it, clear, like you can see where I have kept my software. So this is the XAMPP that I have downloaded in my system in the F drive, and this is the installer for XAMPP Windows. And here you have to double click it, and then you have to just follow the steps. What are the steps are there? Find here the steps are very easy. The step number 1 is this sort of window will appear before you after we have downloaded. And the next important step is run the installer to install XAMPP. So when you click on the installer, what was the installer? Like this is the installer that I have downloaded. After that, this sort of window will appear before you. Clear? So like this is saying welcome to the XAMPP setup wizard. So what is a wizard is basically these are the few steps that we have to follow while installation of XAMPP software. Students, here the very first button is next. Just click on this next button and just follow the steps. So then it will ask for selecting the components. So by default all the components are selected. You need not to change anything here. Just click on the next button and then is select the installation folder. So because I have kept my installation folder as C drive, clear, and another folder will be created here, that is the name of the folder will be XAMPP, so that you can later on check it out also. So I have kept my folder as C drive. So now next click on this next button and you just follow the steps only. Again clicking on the next button then it is saying ready to install. Next, then it is will be saying welcome to XAMPP, and finally just clicking few next, and finally you have this finish option with you. Nothing difficult here, just next options are there. If you are a layman, just click on the next button. Nothing complicated matter here is. So after you click on this finish button, clear, so then you have to go, and here, like in Windows, if I type here XAMPP, so this XAMPP option, XAMPP control panel will appear before you. Just click on this. So this sort of control panel will come before you. So here in this particular control panel, you have to just click on the start button. Clear, start for MySQL. I have already clicked on this, so that's why in place of start here, stop option is coming up. Clear, just click on this, and you can also start your Apache. This, what is this? Apache is server here. So this is the control panel from where you can control your MySQL. Clear. So we will not go into the other details, services, explorer or shell. We'll just follow the steps how to use MySQL on your system. Now what is the next step is there? You just open your command prompt. Clear. And here you have to go to your XAMPP folder. So now I will move to my XAMPP folder, cd XAMPP. I have already told you that I have selected and I have installed it on my C drive. Earlier there was a step was here that where you want to install it, you can see here in the system it was kept it as E drive. Clear, but I have installed it on my C drive, so that's why I am using this this in the C drive. Now the next command is cd MySQL. This is the most a bit sort of a technical points here is. Rest is very easy. Then open your cd bin folder. Clear. And if you have doubt that how to go there, and you can go back. If you are facing problem here, let's say I want to go to the XAMPP folder, so there is a command in DOS, dir/o/p/w. So here you can see that this is a XAMPP folder is already there. So that's why I am typing cd, that is change directory, XAMPP. Then here also use the arrow key. This is the arrow key I am using here. So again dir, and here you can say MySQL folder is there. You just type cd MySQL. Then here also go use the arrow keys, and this is dir. dir shows the directories width wise, page wise, and O stands for order wise. So here you are finding this bin folder. So use here cd change directory bin, just press enter, and you see here now the bin directory is coming here. And here the most crucial aspect is how to basically go and connect with your MySQL. So you have to type here MySQL -u. This is for username, and by default username is root. Just press enter key. Because we have not kept any passwords, that's why it is not asking for any password. During installation we have not set any password. Now students, we have connected with the MySQL database, and the connectivity steps are now over. Now how to use and work with the MySQL. Now see here what we have to do. Type here show databases. This is the first command we do over here, and you will find that all the databases that are created, its list will be shown here. These are the already available databases that we have. Clear? And if you want to create here another database, let's say I type here create database. Let's say name of the database is CIS Dasua. Clear? Just use the semicolon, and you know the one row is created, the message is here. Now the database is successfully created. Now you can use this, use CIS Dasua. Clear? Now the message is database changed is, now we are working in this prompt is also showing a CIS Dasua. Now let's say the very first step is now is I want to create a table in this particular database in CIS Dasua. I want to create a table and I want to keep the name as of a table is employee table. So the command for that we discussed earlier also, create table, then the table name is, let's say the name of the table is employee, and then is to have the attributes. So let's say first attribute I have is e-code. E-code is the employee code, and its data type is, I keep it as integer. Then the another attribute is e-name. Its data type is varchar, and its size is 25. Then gender, let's say this is character 1, male and female, and finally we have salary of the employee, that is in, we keep it as decimal data type. Just press the now semicolon, enter, and you know the query okay, query is now okay, no error is there, 0 row is affected. It has not created the rows, but it has created the structure. So if you want to see the structure, you can see desk, table name is employee. So you can see the structure here like this. So null, it is saying yes. So null yes means you can insert null value, and by default the value is null, and we have not applied any primary key or like no constraint is applied till date. Clear? And in place of desk you can also use describe also. Describe employee, that is the table name. This command desk and describe both are same. This is just to see the structure of the table. Students, now we are done with the basics. Clear how to create the structure of a table. Now the next important step is how to insert values. Insert into table name is employee, and then is I want to insert some values. So values is a keyword. So first employee code is, let's say 1001. Name of the employee is, keep it as Ravi. Gender is male, and let's say his salary is, let's say 8,000 is salary. Yeah, and here you find that one row affected, and successfully one row is now added into the table. Yesterday we discussed also in the lecture one more method of insert into employee by mentioning the attributes. Like I want to mention here e-code, e-name and salary, and I have to now mention the values, corresponding values. Let's say e-code is 1002, then is name of the employee, let's say keep it as Manju, and we keep her salary as, let's say, 7500. So just put here semicolon to mark the end of the statement. So you see the one more row has been added, and here we have not entered the gender. Clear? We have just used only the 3 column names here. So this is another way of by mentioning the column list. In the first step we have not mentioned the column list, and in the second step we have mentioned the column list here. So this is how we have entered the values. Now let's say I want to see the values. Select star from my table name is employee, and now here you can see here that 2 rows are there, and because for Manju we have not entered her gender, so that's why the null is appearing here, and rest values are shown as it is. So we have learned how to create the structure and how to insert the values into the table. So these are the basic operations that we perform on tables. If I want to see a particular column here, so for that the query will be select, let's say, e-name from my table name is employee. So here you will find only the e-name will get displayed here. Earlier all the rows were, because I have used star, this star means, asterisk means all the columns, and here I have mentioned the specific column. Similarly I can select multi columns also, like e-code and e-name from employee table. I have not placed any condition till now. We will later on see the condition part also. So by this way you can insert number of values into the table. So first we have created, students, we need to understand, first we have created the database, and in that database we have created one table here. Clear? And database name we have kept as CAS Dasuga. Then the table we have created here is, the name of the table is employee table. Now let's say we want to place some small condition, because we have very less values, but let's say we test one, the select asterisk from table name is employee, where, let's say, e-name is Ravi. So there is a syntax error, like we have to use here a single equal to, not double equal to. Just use the arrow key, move back, remove one of them, and just press the enter key. So now you see here that now we have placed the condition that we want to see the records where employee name is Ravi. So students, here we have fetched the data based on the SQL. One was the simple query, and second is the query based on condition. Like in the select part, what we have done here, select star from table name, and we have attached the condition part where we are saying that employee name is Ravi. Clear? So students, that's how we are basically we have done with the basics. Now students, that we see that if we have to apply a constraint on a table, so let's assume we create one more table, create table, and we keep the name as customer table, and here I keep the first as CID, customer ID. Its data type is integer, and I place the uh, first constraint is not null, and first name also not null, and the last attribute is last name, and we can keep its length also. We have first we need to mention the data type, and then is the data type of last name. And just place the semicolon, enter, and now it is saying that the table is created, query okay, 0 row affected. You can see the structure of the table, describe customer, this is the structure, and you see here null no for customer ID, because now you cannot place a null value in customer ID. Similarly for first name, it cannot be kept as blank, you have to place some values here. Like if I say here insert some values, insert into my table name is customer, and students, if I let's say enter only first name and let's say last name with values, let's say Navdeep in quotes because they are varchar type, it's not integer, varchar type should be in quotes. And you students, I have not entered the customer ID here, so when you run on this one, so this is now saying first name and last name of customer is done, one row affected, but one warning is there, it is showing one warning. So that one warning is basically that not null constraint has been violated. You can see the now the entries here, select star from table name is customer. You see here it has basically automatically put a value here 0. Now let us assume that I enter one more value here, and this time I keep it as another name, Pradeep Kumar. So this thing for the semicolon. Now see, so you see here now this is not working now. Clear? So Students, now we start working on the, as we have worked on the not null constraint. Now we start working on the default constraint in SQL. So let's say we create one more table, student table, and let's say now we have here, let's say first is roll number, integer, and I put another constraint is unique. It should be unique. Then is first name of student, varchar 25, variable length, and then is last name is with the length 25, and the last one is score, and with his default value 80. So now there is some error is you have an SQL in your SQL syntax, check the manual the corresponding MariaDB server version on the right syntax 25 and default. So we need to check it out. Create table student, and here we need to have student. First we start with the roll number, integer, unique constraint, first name of student, varchar 25, last name varchar 25, and then finally score with the default value 80. Close this one, put the semicolon on this one. So again we have this you have an error in SQL syntax. What is that? Can maximize this one, maybe default 80, or maybe we have something missed here. What is that we have missed here? Maybe integer default 80. I think that should be right. Now you see, now this is fine because we have missed here the data type of the score variable or score column. Now we can see its structure of student table. Now this sort of structure it is. Now students, we have a key also, unique key, and null is yes, and default value is this one, and scores default value is 89. Now we put some example here. Now let's say we want to insert value into my table name is student, and the value I want to place first is roll number, then is first name, then is last name, and the values I want to place here. So let's say start with the roll number 1, name, let's say we keep it as Navdeep, then is last name is Kumar, and I am not placing his score. Clear? Intentionally I am not entering his score. So this is how I am inserting values. Put the semicolon here and one row affected. To see what changes are there, select star from my table name is student. See here what are the changes. Now see, one row is added here, and the score by default 80 score has been entered. And if you want to place some other score here, let's say that will override the existing score. Let's say score is here in place of Navdeep, and I change this roll number to now 2, and the name is now Pradeep Kumar, and let's say his score is quite intelligent. Let's say it's a 95, and press enter, place semicolon, enter, and now one row is affected, and with the arrow keys you can see that now the Pradeep's score by default 80 has been now overridden with 95. Now students, we have also placed this here a unique constraint here. You can see here we have also placed this unique key constraint here is. So let's say I want to enter one more. Here is one more record. So let's say now I want to have another person named as Kuldeep, and his score is, let us say, let's say 88%, and you press enter here, place semicolon, enter, and you see here it is saying now duplicate entry because 2 is already entered as a Pradeep. You see here 2 roll number is already here already with Pradeep entry, so we cannot have another entry with the same roll number because we have placed the, you see here we have placed the unique constraint on the roll number. So that's why we cannot have two same roll numbers in the table. So that's why the error here is duplicate entry 2 for the key is our attribute, that is the key is roll number. So this is how we have discussed the constraints, not null constraint, default constraint, and the unique constraint. So I think we have done the enough the basics as well as the constraints also. So I hope that we will have a few more examples clear that will give you a better clarity over the such issues. So now we will let's say I will create the this student table again, and for that if you have to create it again we have to drop this one, drop table name, drop table name is student. So one row is query okay, 0 rows affected. So what does this mean? We'll check it out. Select star from student. So now it is saying that student table does not exist. But my only caution with students you is that use this drop statement very carefully. Don't use like this is sort of a often sort of a, and very carefully think twice before using this one. So now let's say we work with the primary key constraint. So we create again the create table, and let's say now we create the student table, and with the attributes let's say roll number, and its data type is integer, and not null is the first constraint, then is the first name, that is varchar 25. Let's say we keep the first name only, and we want to place, let's say we keep another last name varchar 25, and we want to make primary key to roll number. Now you see the table is done. You can see the structure, and here in the structure the null is no, you cannot place, and the key, this is roll number, is a primary key. Now what is the benefit of this one? You see here again we want to insert we have already insert statement earlier. We can drag this from here, insert into roll number like this, like Kuldeep, press semicolon. Now this record is score is a unknown because here we have not kept the score here, so we can remove the score part. Just press enter, semicolon, and the row is created. Similarly, let's say we create one more. Is the order is not important here, and we just place one more is Navdeep with roll number 1. Press enter, place semicolon, enter, and you know it is created. You can see now, select star from the table name student, and you see the 2 rows are here. Now we want to violate this primary key constraint, so let's say we want with the 1 and roll number is 1 and Pradeep we want to enter, but no, 1 is already issued to Navdeep. So when you press enter here, place semicolon, and you see here duplicate entry for 1, and the same error sort of was there in case of a unique one, but there is a difference in unique and primary key, so that we will discuss in the class. So hopefully today we have done the extensive work. So we have discussed the number of issues today. First and the foremost important thing is the installation of MySQL. For that we have installed XAMPP software. I can again revise the steps here. What were the steps here? We opened the Google window, and here we have searched for XAMPP download for Windows, and this is the very first window will appear before you, XAMPP for Windows, and then you have to check it out that whether your Windows is 64-bit, so you have to download the accordingly XAMPP. अगर आपका XAMPP 32-bit है तो विंडो 32-bit है तो XAMPP भी 32-bit होना चाहिए, बट मोस्टली जो विंडोज है आजकल 64-bit है, सो आपका XAMPP भी उतने बिट का होना चाहिए. ठीक है जी, तो ये है सबसे पहला स्टेप. उसको डाउनलोड किया, जैसे मैंने डाउनलोड करके कहाँ पे रखा हुआ है, यू सी हियर, ये मैंने डाउनलोड करके रखा हुआ अपना इंस्टॉलर. फिर के उसके बाद नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या था, और उसको डबल क्लिक करो, और डबल क्लिक करने के बाद इस तरह की विंडो आप लोगों के पास, सी हियर, किस तरह की विंडो आ जाएगी आप लोगों के पास. यस, इंस्टॉलर के बाद सबसे पहले ये वाली विंडो आएगी आप लोगों के पास. ठीक है जी, नेक्स्ट बटन को क्लिक किया. नेक्स्ट ही है, इसमें कुछ भी डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, कुछ भी आप लोगों ने चूज नहीं करना. नेक्स्ट बटन फिर से यहाँ पे प्लेस किया. फिर आपने डिसाइड करना है कि आपने अपना XAMPP किस फोल्डर में रखना है. बेस्ट थिंग इज यहाँ पे क्लिक करके, बाय डिफॉल्ट सी ड्राइव में ही आता है, सी में ही रखो. यहाँ से आप इसको सी वाला ऑप्शन चूज कर सकते हो. फिर से नेक्स्ट बटन को क्लिक किया. फिर वो आपसे पूछेगा दैट इज द XAMPP प्रोवाइड्स अ फ्री इंस्टॉलर. क्लिक नेक्स्ट. रेडी टू इंस्टॉल, यस, क्लिक XAMPP ऑन योर कंप्यूटर. इसको क्लिक किया, यहाँ पे आ गए हम लोग. अब इसमें MySQL भी है, PHP भी है, Perl भी है, बट वी आर मोर कंसर्न विथ MySQL. ठीक है जी. फिर लास्ट पे आ गया कंप्लीटिंग दी XAMPP सेटअप विजार्ड. तो जो उसके सारे स्टेप्स हैं विजार्ड के, विजार्ड क्या होता है, एक प्रोग्राम होता है जिसमें कुछ एक स्टेप्स होते हैं हमारे पास. तो वो स्टेप्स को हमने कवर किया, फिनिश बटन पे क्लिक किया, जैम्प हमारा इंस्टॉल हो गया। फिर हमने जैम्प को जब ओपन किया तो इस तरह की विंडो आ जाएगी। इसके ऊपर हमने सबसे पहले ये स्टार्ट अपाचे सर्वर को स्टार्ट करना है और एक माई एसक्यूएल को स्टार्ट करना है। दोनों को स्टार्ट करने के बाद यू हैव टू ओपन योर कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट। इस तरह से आप लोगों ने कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट को ओपन करना है। मैं फिर से बता देता हूं आप लोगों को एग्जिट करके, ठीक है जी। ओपन यूर बाय टाइपिंग cmd, तो इस तरह का आप लोगों का कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट खुल जाएगा। गो टू दी सी ड्राइव, बिकॉज सी ड्राइव में मैंने जैम्प को रखा हुआ है। इसको आप dir/o/p/w से चेक कर सकते हो। dir इज द डायरेक्टरी कमांड इन डॉस, o मीन्स ऑर्डर वाइज, p मीन्स पेज वाइज, w मीन्स विड्थ वाइज। तो इसमें हमारा फोल्डर पड़ा हुआ है, ये कौन सा, जैम्प। टाइप करो cd चेंज डायरेक्टरी जैम्प, फिर क्या करना है, cd छोड़ो आप फिर से एक बार ये डायरेक्टरी वाली कमांड एरो की से सिलेक्ट कर लो, एंटर करो। फिर उसमें कौन सी है नेक्स्ट हमारी डायरेक्टरी, माई एसक्यूएल। यहाँ पे देखो पड़ी होगी, ये देखो माई एसक्यूएल पड़ी है यहाँ पे टाइप करो cd माई एसक्यूएल। फिर से ये वाली कमांड रन कर लो, dir। अब इसमें से कौन सी हमने डायरेक्टरी में जाना है, बिन में। उसके लिए टाइप करना पड़ेगा cd bin, एंटर किया, ठीक है जी। फिर उसके बाद हमने क्या करना है, इसका यूजर नेम डालना है। तो यूजर नेम डालने के लिए कमांड है MySQL _u और रूट। रूट क्या होता है बेटा, रूट जो है इसका यूजर नेम होता है। एंटर किया तो ये हमारा कनेक्टिविटी हो गई है MariaDB के साथ। नाउ यू हैव टू टाइप हियर शो डाटाबेसेस सेमीकोलन, एंटर किया, क्या आ गया यहाँ पे मैसेज, यहाँ पे कुछ एरर आ गया है। क्या है एरर, यूज CIS दसुआ। तो ये हो गया हमारा। हाँ, डाटाबेसेस के बेसिकली स्पेलिंग गलत लिखे हुए थे, ठीक है। तो डाटाबेसेस के तो यूज CIS दसुआ से हम यूज कर सकते हैं इसको, ठीक है। शो डाटाबेसेस से जितने भी डाटाबेसेस की लिस्ट है अब 7 हो गई है, क्योंकि हमने एक और इसमें CIS दसुआ नाम का डाटाबेस क्रिएट कर दिया है, ठीक है। किसी और डाटाबेस के अंदर एंटर करना है, जैसे स्कूल में जाना है तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, यूज स्कूल। तो यहाँ पे मैसेज आ जाएगा डाटाबेस चेंज। अब हम CIS दसुआ में से बाहर निकल के किस में चले गए हैं, यूज स्कूल में चले गए। और लास्ट में है अगर इससे हमने बाहर जाना है तो उसके लिए है एग्जिट कमांड, एग्जिट स्टेटमेंट, ठीक है जी। तो एग्जिट किया इसमें से, जस्ट प्रेस एंटर और यहाँ पे मैसेज आ जाएगा बाय। अगेन इसको एग्जिट लिखो और आप इससे बाहर आ जाओगे। So students, today we have learned the step-by-step installation process and working with MySQL. My humble request to all the students is कि आप इन steps को करके देखो। कहीं पे भी आप लोगों को difficulty आती है, you can contact me. Clear? थोड़ी सी हो सकता है difficulty आ जाए किसी को, because installation हमेशा challenging होता है और challenge में ही थोड़ी learning होती है हमारे पास। So at the end, I thank you all for attending the session. Still किसी को doubt है, you can contact me. So again, I thank you all for attending the session. Thank you very much.